What do I think? I mean, I think that the situation that we are in now is, to me, it feels like we're kind of at the top of a curve. You know how kind of
Yeah.
stuff moves in S curves. I feel like mobile games is at the top of an S curve now, where there's so much power is in the hands of like a few small companies, right? Um, and that feels untenable to me. That feels like in an industry where actually creativity, ingenuity, um, are part of the process. And there are kind of super ambitious people that want to kind of have their own stake and have their own
Yeah.
slice
They
of
want to
the
compete.
industry, and also parts of the world, right? Like China, Vietnam, Pakistan, India. Like there are these parts of the world which have not been through the same experiences that the West has in terms of kind of, they don't have the same kind of, I don't know, obviously there is an advantage in kind of like having worked in games for a long time that you've learned a lot of stuff, but then also you get in a rut, right? And you start to kind of have these priors which maybe aren't applicable anymore. And somebody else who is fresh to games, but wants to succeed and is ambitious can kind of see things in a different way and create a different experience, which you hadn't even thought of. And so I think that um, those forces, I think that AI is a big thing in terms of kind of leveling the balance between, I think actually that's probably a disadvantage for like a larger company where they probably want to bring AI into the processes, but actually like everything, sometimes things are so codified already that it's difficult to disrupt in that way,
Yeah.
or do it effectively. Whereas would be smaller companies or companies starting from the ground up now, whether it's built in as like core to how they operate, right?
Yeah.
So you were saying before about how Candy Crush is like cheap to operate. Um, it's actually over time it's become, I think, like crazy expensive to operate because you've got the I don't know. It sounds like they brought AI into the content production pipeline now, but it's still like being a public part of a publicly traded company. There's all sorts, you can't just do anything. You've got to kind of maintain that performance and grow that performance always. Like there's a big responsibility in that, which means that you're not completely free to do whatever the hell you
You
want.
can't innovate. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, they find it like super difficult to do that versus a new company that can kind of build from the ground up. So I genuinely think that uh, something, I don't know what, but something will happen at some point over the next, like, what do you say, 2 to 3 years or 3 to 5 years,
I think it's 3 to 5
where
years. I think that's a safe one.
something's going to come out of nowhere from these forces and make us all think like, God damn it, why didn't I think of that? It's so
Someone's gonna
obvious.
build a hell of a game. Like they're gonna take 5 people in a basement using some AI and they're gonna build a crazy good game. And everyone's
Yeah,
gonna be like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
whole model's gonna flip on its head because we are kind of bloated. Like AAA is bloated. Like there
Yeah, yeah,
are
yeah.
too many people trying to build games and it's become way too expensive. And that's what just fascinates me is this. I don't know if you've ever read the book Clayton Christensen, The Innovator's Dilemma, but he was looking at kind of the floppy disk.
No, I don't think I have, no.
He was looking at like the evolution of the floppy disk, and you could see that companies would like start kind of there'd be an incumbent who is innovating, and there'd be a market leader, and over time, constantly, you'd have a market leader that rose, who used to be an incumbent, then would constantly listen to the market. At some point, the market is demanding something, but they don't realize that there's an improvement that can happen. So the disk would get smaller and faster. And so
Yeah.
a new company would start building a new technology using the smaller disk, but the market wasn't asking for that at the time, but they had the space to innovate. And then that incumbent becomes the market leader, and then that company crashes and fails. And it's just a constant cycle of like someone coming up on top and
Mm,
then a startup coming up and beating them to it and then getting replaced. And
mm,
then that startup becoming the leader and then getting replaced.
mm,
And it just feels like a constant. And I think it's bound to happen with AI.
mm.
I
I
don't
think
see
it's
how that
cool. I
doesn't
think
happen.
it's very exciting. I think that I think the missing piece is distribution platform. I think that UA is still like really is obviously like the most difficult thing to solve at the moment. I
User
think that's
acquisition.
like open question. But I do think that the kind of the nature of entertainment, right? Like how people pass their time, suggests that the app stores are not the most effective way to find content like this, and large massive teams actually you can make equally compelling content with super small teams. And so I don't know, it feels like inevitable that something's gonna change. I'm here for it. Come on, let's go.